Let's start welding the wire. Lift the control lever up to open the door on the side of the mold. Then put the copper rod into hole of the mold. Make the two copper rods meet at the center of the mold. Then press the button of "In" to start welding. Until the mold completely closed. Then press the button "Out" to release the mold. Perform one closing and one releasing. We call it a complete cold welding. Then repeat the previous operation 3 to 5 times. After 5 times of welding are completed. Press the button "Open" to make the mold fully open. Finally, you can take out the wire which is finished welding. This is the welding video of low oxygen copper rod. Use a foot switch to operate the cold welding machine is another way of operating the machine. Install the foot switch accessories onto the machine. After installation is complete, you can use the foot switch to operate the machine. Now we can start welding the oxygen-free copper rods. Lift the control lever up to open the clamping door. Then pass the copper rod through the wire groove of the mold. Make the copper rods on the left and right sides meet at an equal distance in the center of the mold. Then operate the machine through the foot switch. Keep pressing the foot switch to completely close the mold. Then release the foot switch to open the mold. This is a complete welding process. Repeat this process 3 to 5 times. After welding is completed, press the button of "Open" to fully open the mold. Then you can take out the copper rod which is finished welding. This video is about how to install the J6 mold. First install the mold core on the mold base. Be sure to keep the mold core and mold base at the same level. You can use a ruler or other tools to help confirm whether it is flat. If it is not flat, you need to reinstall it. The cutting edge of the mold core cannot be higher than the surface of the mold shell. Otherwise, the mold core will be easily damaged. Be careful when assembling this. In normal times, the mold core and mold shell need to be fastened. This is 1/4 of the mold block. Then install the remaining pieces like this. The order of the mold is 1, 2, 3, 4. Mold should be assembled and used in order. The top is 1 and 2, the bottom is 3 and 4. This order cannot be changed. Otherwise, the mold will be damaged. Now we are going to assemble the mold blocks. To make a complete mold, first, thread 4 short pins. Second, install the springs on the short pins. Then secure the short pin with the nut. If the nut is damaged during normal use of the machine, need to replace with spare parts and retighten the pin. Otherwise, the pin will get stuck in the mold. This needs attention. Then install the 2 long pins. It is best to install on a flat workbench, which will make the installation faster. After both the long and short pins are installed, pull the mold block slightly apart. Start final tightening. This is a mold hoop. It is necessary to use this tool to squeeze the mold tightly. Then install the retaining nut. The mold hoop can be placed in the middle of the mold hole that needs to be tightened. This can make the stress on the mold more even. After tightening the nut slightly, tighten the set screw. What we are doing now is the final screw tightening work. After the screw tightening is completed, the pins of the mold will not loosen or rattle during assembly and use. For a mold, there are 4 screws need to be tightened on one side. On both sides, there are totally 8 screws need to be tightened. Finally, the preparation of the mold for installation on the machine is completed. This video is about how to install the crane. Insert the crane into the base above the machine. Then fix the crane to the machine with screws. Make sure the screws in the 3 holes are tightened. This is a video of how to install the mold on the J6 copper wire cold welding machine. The mold is very heavy, so please tighten the shackle to prevent the mold from falling off the crane. Lift the mold through crane. It is best to have 2 people lift the mold together. One of the people needs to hold the mold and adjust its position, another people operate the crane. Adjust the position of the mold and lower the mold. Click the button of In until the mold fits the groove. When installing the mold, the foot switch needs to be removed. After the foot switch is removed, click the button of In to make the mold to touch with groove. Then we can start to install mold. After the mold is installed, check whether the mold and the rhombus block of the machine are on the same plane. Put on the cover plate and tighten the screws of cover plate. After 8 screws are fully tightened, loosen the screws half a turn to prevent the cover plate from pressing into the mold. Ensure that the clamping door can be closed and opened normally. Finally, put down the protective cover of the cover plate. When welding, the protective cover must be put down. It can protect the operator and prevent metal slag from flying up during the welding process. Then you can install the foot switch and get ready for welding. This horizontal seam is called the middle seam of the mold. It needs to be adjusted according to the different wire diameters of the mold. Adjust to 1/3 of the wire diameter you want to weld. Here is the position of adjusting the center seam. Loosen the nut below first. Turning the nut above counterclockwise will make the center seam smaller. Turning the nut above clockwise will make the center seam larger. After adjusting the size of the center seam, tighten the nut below. When the mold is in the out state, you can see that the center seam becomes noticeably smaller after adjustment. The center seam needs to be adjusted according to different wire diameters. This video is about how to take out the mold. First, remove the foot switch. Then remove the screws of cover plate. Remove the cover plate. Install the mold removal ring on the mold. Install the shackle. Then get ready to start lifting the mold. Note that when lifting the mold, the machine must be in a fully out state. Press the button of Out to open the mold groove in the machine to the maximum before starting to lift the mold. This machine is split type, so you need to connect it by yourself after receiving the machine. There are a total of 6 wires that need to be connected. The first wire is this signal wire. The second wire is this power bus. Next are these two pipelines are oil pipelines. One of the 2 pipes has been tied with a cable tie. Connect the pipe with a tie to the relief valve with a tie. The pipe without a tie is connected to another relief valve. The last 2 wires are the fuel gauge wires. The same goes for the fuel gauge wires. Connect the wire with a cable tie to the interface with a cable tie. A total of 6 wires need to be connected. After these lines are connected, you can start testing the machine.